Okay, so you've just got your brand new PC. It's got Windows 11 installed on it. But what should you do to make sure that your system is fully optimized, i.e., so that it runs the best it can? Well, this guide is going to show you what you need to do as soon as you've set up your Windows PC. Don't forget to like this video, share it, and subscribe to my channel. Doing these three things help us make more great videos for you. So, as I say, once you've set up your Windows PC, if you've bought it from a company such as Dell, Lenovo, Acer, Asus, wherever, there's probably going to be lots and lots of software pre-installed on there that you're never going to need. Now, generally, most commercial laptops and computers have at least two things installed. They have a demo version of, say, for instance, McAfee. And if you're not planning to use it, there you go. It's actually just popped up on the screen now. And if you're not going to planning to use it, if you're not planning to buy it, because it's only a 30-day free trial, then you may as well just remove it and use Windows Defender or Microsoft Defender that comes with Windows 11 anyway, or you might want to stick on your own antivirus. Another thing it comes with is a trial version of Microsoft 365, which is Word, Excel, PowerPoint, etc. But again, unless you're going to subscribe to it, after 30 days, it becomes absolutely useless. So what I would say is, first of all, is let's have a look and see what apps are already pre-installed on the computer and remove the ones we're simply not going to use. So how do we do that? Well, we just move our mouse over the start button. That's the 4 blue squares at the bottom of the screen. And then click the right mouse button. That's the button on the right hand side of the mouse, not the left. Once you've clicked that, then you should get this menu appear. Go up to Installed Apps at the top and click the left mouse button. Okay, so you will now see a list of apps that come pre-installed with the PC. So go through this list, and any that you don't think that you're going to need to use, then uninstall them. And I'll just show you how you uninstall them. I mean, there's one here, for instance, Cortana. This PC has come pre-installed with Cortana. Cortana no longer works. Copilot has become Cortana. So let's just uninstall that. So all I do is I just move my mouse along to the 3 dots just to the right of Cortana, left click once, and then move your mouse over uninstall, left click once, and then move your mouse over this uninstall, and again left click once, and that's now uninstalled, as you can see on the screen, and it disappears. Now, what else can we get rid of? Well, Mail and Calendar. If yours has got Mail and Calendar installed on there, again, that has been replaced by the new Outlook. So we can move our mouse over the 3 dots just there, left click once, move your mouse over uninstall, left click once, and then move your mouse over the second uninstall, again, left click once, and that will uninstall. So if you're not planning to use McAfee, the free trial version, then again, mouse over the 3 dots there, left click once, and then mouse over uninstall, left click once, and mouse over second uninstall, left click once. And then what you're going to have to do here is follow the instructions on the screen. So where it says, do you want to allow this app to make changes to your device? Then move your mouse over yes, left click once, and then we want to follow the instructions to uninstall the software. So here it's asking us why we're leaving. I'm just going to click no thanks. And it's saying, are you sure you want to remove me? Yeah, I'm going to click remove. So click remove again and just carry on following any instructions on screen, and hopefully it should remove it. And there you go. It's come up that we've got no virus protection at the moment. That's simply because we're in the middle of removing McAfee and activating Windows Defender. Okay, so on some programs or some apps that you remove, it's going to ask you to restart the computer after uninstalling them. So I would always recommend restart. So click that restart button, get it fully removed now, let the computer restart. And then once it's restarted, wait for the desktop to come back up, log in if you need to. And then as soon as you see the start button appear at the bottom of the screen, move your mouse over it. That's the 4 blue dots. Click on the right mouse button again. And then when this menu appears, left click installed apps, and then carry on working your way through the list. Now, if there's something here that you're not sure about, then just leave it. Certainly, if you see anything that says Microsoft Visual C, like these here, then leave that. But if you know that you're not going to use a certain app, then you can always remove it. I mean, if you do remove something by accident, most of the time, don't worry, you can re-download the app from the Microsoft Store anyway. Also, another thing to look out for is the Windows app runtime stuff here. Again, you don't really want to be removing that. And of course, anything to do with the manufacturer of your computer, I'd say leave that well alone. But there's other things like here, if you're not planning to use Xbox Live on your PC, which is a gaming platform, then you can remove that as well. Again, just by clicking on the three dots and then clicking uninstall and then uninstall again. And there you go, that goes. I'm going to do the other Xbox as well. So click on the three dots, click on uninstall again, and there you go, that's gone. Removing the apps that you're not likely to use is not only going to free up space, but it's going to mean there's less stuff running in the background. And when your computer, say, does a virus check or a check of its files for whatever reasons, it's going to have less files to have to go through. So while we're in this as well, while we're in this installed apps section, there are some apps in here that you might be thinking, yeah, I'll keep them on there, but some of the apps are set to run in the background whilst your computer is running, and most of them don't need to. I mean, like for instance, if I'm not too bothered about the weather down the bottom there in the bottom left hand corner of the screen, I can click on the three dots just to the right of the weather app and then go into advanced options, and here it says let this app run in background. Click on the drop down and you can say, I want it to always run in the background. Power optimize, so if the battery's getting low on your laptop, then it won't run. Or you can say never run in the background. So you can select there never. And that means that the app won't run in the background. It won't be taking up processing power. It won't be taking up disk usage. You can go through the list here, and most of these things here you can say don't run in the background if you don't want them to. Like for instance, calculator, click on the three dots to the right of calculator, click on that, and background apps, select never. Why would you want the calculator running in the background? Again, like I say, go through all the apps here, and the ones that you think to yourself, I don't need that running in the background, then you can turn it off or just say never to it. Another thing we can do is we can stop apps from starting up with the computer. So click on apps just over there on the left, and then click on start up just at the bottom there. And here are a list of apps that are starting up with your computer. Well, you don't really want Microsoft Edge starting up every time you turn your computer on. If you don't use Microsoft OneDrive, you can turn that off too. If you don't use Microsoft Teams, then you can turn that off too. Go through this list, and if there's anything on here that you don't actually use or don't want starting up with the computer every time, you want to manually start it up as and when you need it, then turn those off. Other things I like to do to help speed the computer up or keep it speedy is to go into personalization just over there on the left, and then click on colors, and we've got this transparency effect, which looks nice. It means that the windows have a little bit of transparency. As you can see there, you can see in the start menu behind it, there's a few colours there, and that's reflecting what's behind it. But if we turn that off and then click on the start button, as you can see, there's no transparency. Now that obviously makes the graphics card work harder and the processor work harder in the computer. So if you don't need it, turn it off. Also, let's just go back to personalization, and if we go into lock screen now you can personalize your lock screen. Looks good, but it's only literally there for a couple of seconds, and this goes out to the internet every day to find a new photo. So if you haven't got a particularly good internet connection, then what I would say is turn that off. Select Windows Spotlight there and just select picture, and that's a plain boring picture, but it's only literally there for the first couple of seconds. And also untick get fun facts, tips, tricks and more on your lock screen. Untick that, and the lock screen status there, weather and more, click on the drop down there and select none. And you can even say turn off show the lock screen background picture on the sign-in screen. So I just turn that off. That means you just get a simple plain screen come up. Again, lot faster or a lot easier for the computer to draw a plain screen than it is graphics. Let's just go back to personalization again on the left and just go into start there. And here you've got here show recommendations for tips, shortcuts, new apps and more. I'm just going to turn that off. And also I'm going to turn off show account related notifications occasionally in start. Again, less things for the computer to do in the background. If I now click on system, just up there, and here we have got notifications. If I go into notifications, and these are all things that are going to send notifications down there in the bottom right hand corner of the screen. Sometimes can be really annoying, especially like suggested. You don't want suggestions coming up. You also can choose other things in there that you perhaps don't want notifications from, and also click additional settings and untick all of these. Show the Windows welcome experience after updates, suggest ways of getting the most out of Windows and finishing setting up this device, untick that. Get tips and suggestions when using Windows, untick that too. Scroll up to the top back to notifications there and click on that little arrow just to the right of the drop down there, and really I'm going to untick show notifications on the lock screen and show reminders about incoming VoIP calls on the lock screen. Again, just going to mean that the computer should start up quicker because it's not going to try displaying stuff on the lock screen. And finally, I'm going to go back to system just over there on the left, and I'm going to go down to about, left click once, and then go into advanced system settings. And here under performance, I'm going to click settings. And what I'm going to do is I am going to turn off animations. Now you might notice there when I clicked on settings there, it animated. The box faded in and faded out. So I'm going to turn that off. So what I'm going to do is in here, I'm going to untick animate controls and element inside Windows. I'm going to untick animate windows when minimizing and maximize. I'm going to untick animations in the taskbar, untick enable peak, untick fade or slide menus into view, untick fade or slide tooltips into view, untick fade out menu items after clicking. So untick all of those, and then I'm going to go down to slide open combo boxes, untick that, and I'm going to untick smooth scroll list boxes. And that should mean when I'm opening boxes on the screen, these things come up a lot quicker. So for instance, if I click settings there you go, boom, it came up immediately. And that happens with things like the start button as well. If I click on the start menu, there you go, that come up immediately. Another thing to check whilst I'm in here, if you like using System Restore, and I'd only say use this if you really absolutely need to, then click on System Protection and just make sure that System Protection is turned on, because a lot of manufacturers nowadays are turning this off, meaning that you won't be able to restore your system back to what it was at an earlier time. So if yours is shown as off, as mine is, then click on Configure. And what I would suggest is click on the little circle to the left of turn on System Protection and just move that slider up one notch. Okay, so it's 1% or 2% just down there. Okay, and then click on apply and then click on OK. And then you can just OK this, and you can shut this down by clicking on the cross in the top right hand corner. Now I know I said the last thing was the last thing I was going to go through, but there's one final thing I've just thought of, and that is if you go into privacy and security just over there on the left, and then click on general just there. And what we want to turn off here is we want to turn off show me suggested content in the settings app. And we want to turn off show me notifications in the settings app as well. And I'm just going to turn those back on just for a sec, just to show you what that removed. Now, turning those two off, if I go back into home there, as you will see, that yellow sort of bar at the top of the screen nagging me to sign in has gone. So it's removed that. If I go back into privacy and security and go into diagnostics and feedback, I'm going to turn off send optional diagnostic data, because again, that takes up processing power. I'm also going to make sure that improve inking and typing is switched off if I don't use it, and tailored experiences as well. I'm going to turn that off as well. This is all stuff being sent to Microsoft, and again, it takes up processing power, it takes up bandwidth. I'm going to also make sure that the diagnostic data viewer is also off. And here we've got the feedback frequency. This is sending stuff back to Microsoft again. So click on the drop down there and I'm going to turn that to never, so that it never sends anything back to Microsoft. So once we've done all that, we can click on the cross in the top right hand corner of the screen to close that off. And there you go. That is our computer optimized, ready to go, ready for us to use, and should be nice, clean and quick. And it should stay that way for many, many years to come. If you've got any tips, then please let us know in the comments down below. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, consider hitting that thanks button and making a donation to this channel. Or if you can't do that, then have a look in the description down below. We've got some great links down there for you to various things, including my Amazon shop, which contains all the things I love at the moment on Amazon: Fire TV sticks, Fire TV cubes and VPNs. Buying, subscribing and donating really does help support this channel. It helps me to be able to dedicate more time to spend researching to bring you these great videos. And whilst you're at my YouTube channel, why not stick around? I've got thousands of other videos for you right here, right now, covering all sorts of subjects. Hopefully whilst you're here, you're going to find something to educate you, entertain you, amuse you, and maybe even save you some time and money. And if you do see any videos that you think your friends, your family or your work colleagues might like to see, then please don't forget to share these videos on your social media timelines. You can check me out on X. I'm at CWTEK. You can also check out my website. It's cwtek.co.uk. Thanks for watching and speak to you again soon.